Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Daily Bone Podcast, where we discuss all things crypto market, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, meme coins, and NFTs. Today, we're going to discuss crypto ads at the Super Bowl. I was just playing some Backstreet Boys inspired by the Coinbase ad last night, which was controversial. We're going to break that down. We'll also talk about the recent crypto pullback and the latest drama from Kyle Samani's attack on Hyperliquid. That was funny to see. The usual host, Ray, is out this morning. He busted his ankle. He texted me last night. He was like, "Hey, I just broke my ankle. I need you to host today." So he's on his way to the doctor today to get that checked out. Hopefully it's just a really bad sprain. But if you're listening on Twitter, drop us a comment, drop us a like. It helps boost the algorithm. I hope you guys are all doing well. If you're listening on YouTube, drop us a like, drop us a comment. How are you guys doing this morning and handling the crypto price action, which starting to show signs of weakness once again? But I'm joined here with Signal today. Easy Eats Bodega should also be joining us as well. Signal, did you see the Super Bowl last night?
No, it's way past my bedtime, Clemente. Way past my bedtime. I didn't get to see I didn't watch it live, but I am watching on Twitter this morning the live, let's say, feedback of the event. I don't think I have ever seen a more polarizing halftime since I think the Janet Jackson boob thing. When it turned out that Timberlake did it on purpose, and like years ago, like Janet Jackson flashed, the entire world. She flashed the entire world when she was doing a performance with Justin Timberlake, and it was an accident, let's say. And then it turned out that it wasn't an accident, and there was this whole halupa over the whole thing, and newspapers were like front headlines, and it was the Janet Jackson oop moment. That was like the most controversial thing, I think, for me at least, and that was years ago. And now you've had this Bad Bunny thing. Every post on my timeline is either for or against it. It's number two to the whole Epstein thing on my timeline right now. It's just like Bad Bunny and what he represents. And I was like, and then the ads at the Super Bowl this year, because I do like watching the ads at the Super Bowl. I have to say, I think that's like one of the best times to watch like the machine of the US ad machine go into practice. And this year I was like, what is going on? Just like, what is going on? The ads have been so weird this year. It's like some kind of dystopian, I don't know, but you know what? I agree with the posts on Twitter where people are like, I miss the frogs. I miss Budweiser. I miss Did. Like, yeah, I honestly do. It's been a weird one, right? I mean, I don't watch it every year. So what's been your take?
I thought the ads were okay. There were a lot of celebrities in them for some reason. Like, I felt like it was a lot of like influencers and celebrities basically in every single one, where I think before that it was more focused around creativity versus this time it was like creativity / having a celebrity or recognizable face in there. It's interesting watching Twitter's reaction versus like the people I was watching the Super Bowl with. And I don't understand why everything needs to be so controversial now. It's like the Bad Bunny performance was all like turned into this huge thing when like it doesn't need to be. Like, why does Bad Bunny need to be controversial? He didn't do anything that was controversial the whole thing. Like, it was a fine Super Bowl performance, but people are like so charged about it. And then the biggest thing, Signal, did you see the Coinbase commercial? Did you actually watch it?
I mean, I didn't watch it live, but I've seen the commercial. Yeah. That one was, if it wasn't for Coinbase, we wouldn't even be talking about it.
So there was, and for people that maybe don't know or haven't been watching, didn't watch last night, Coinbase did kind of a karaoke style ad with the Backstreet Boys, and then at the very end it showed the Coinbase ad. But the most interesting part about it is kind of the normie reaction that came out, because the most trending thing that came from it is not necessarily whether or not it was good or bad. It was more so, I think, the reaction from the public. I literally thought this was a skit. It's so good that it feels like it's not real, but then there's like other people recording and be like, yeah, this was my family, and it's people booing. So what I'll play here is 25 seconds of the reaction of people watching the Coinbase ad, which is unbelievable. So they're singing. You better rock your body now, everybody. Yeah. Rock your body. They're so happy. They're loving it. They're loving it. They're happy. Singing along.
That's one of the best ads that I've ever seen.
What?
One of the best ads I've ever seen. Dude. By far. It's creative. It's innovative. It's genius. They got everyone to see the name Coinbase in a moment of pure positive light, I would say, and reminiscent of early days. Did you see AMP singing along to it? Do you know who AMP is, the streaming group?
No, who's that?
It's Kai Cenat, if you've heard the name.
Oh, yeah.
So his group, they had the ad last night, and this individual named Agent, who's one of the larger ones on the team, both in weight and following, ended up singing along and went like extremely euphoric when Coinbase was on the screen because they were all singing it and they all sang Coinbase and then they all like clapped it up. I don't know if it was an unpaid ad. I don't know what the sentiment was for it, but I've seen a hit and miss from a lot of people on it. Some people say it's great. Some people say it's bad. I personally don't really care regardless. I'm just not happy at all that Cardi B performed at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I want to get to that. Easy's referring to a Polymarket trade that he took. I was actually going to take the yes on Cardi B. I'm very glad I didn't. Yeah, I think our guy, No Future.
Yes would have hit, by the way. You should have taken yes.
No Future Photography here is chiming in. I agree with his take. He said the hate is justified. The song is a core memory from these people's childhood, which was just hijacked by Coinbase. I mean, it was going to be an ad either way.
Like, what do you mean it was dude? Wasn't there like 3 different Backstreet Boy commercials?
That was wild.
T-Mobile had another one. That was like, I use T-Mobile, and I'm not sitting here like, damn, yeah, nah. T-Mobile's just like NSYNC, you know, it's unreal.
I actually called it when
I just don't think it was very memorable.
Well, the ads suck this year. They get worse every year. Every year they get worse. I thought that the Mandalorian and that little green thing, the Yoda looking guy, I thought that was gonna be the Budweiser commercial because they straight up just stole the Budweiser flow. They're in a little horse and buggy thing with creatures that look like Clemente driving the thing. But yeah, I thought it was just bad. The game sucked. Knew the Seahawks would win. Shout out Sam Darnold, former Jets quarterback. We raised him well. So this is technically a Jets win.
My Seahawks looked unbelievable last night. The Patriots looked like absolute dog shit. They looked horrible. That defense was looking good. Yeah, I mean, I honestly love any sort of mainstream attention that crypto gets. So I'd love to see that. I've been really my whole stance on it right now is like the fact that people have such a strong stance against crypto is just kind of interesting to me. Like, why do you have such a violent reaction against it? Why is it this thing where you're like literally so passionately just like, fuck you. I want nothing to do with crypto. Like, you destroyed this experience for me. Part of it, I do think, is the politicization of crypto. I potentially think that is a factor. Donald Trump's affiliation and the effect that comes with Trump associated with anything. As soon as politics get involved with anything, you get like immediate, like bipartisan or like partisan stuff. Same thing happened with Bad Bunny. Like, I actually think the Bad Bunny and the crypto thing and Coinbase ad were just 2 examples of politicization of a topic. So anyways, maybe we'll talk a little bit more about later. I want to hear more about Easy's Cardi B debacle. But Signal, can you take it away with the weather report whenever you're ready?
Yep, sure. Let's do this on Monday, February the 9th. Looking at the crypto roundup, the majors pulled back this morning after a weekend rally. Bitcoin is at 69K. Ethereum is at 2K. Solana is at $84 and Hype is at holding 31.5. Over the past 24 hours, top 3 stories, while crypto ads took center stage at the Super Bowl with Coinbase arising as NSYNC karaoke ad, an ad for AI.com, a domain purchased by Crypto.com CEO, also aired an ad calling users to claim their usernames on the new AI agent platform. Next up, MegaETH announced their KPI-based launch requirements for their Mega token TGE. The token will automatically launch 30 days after any of the metrics are hit, which include a 500 million TVL for the USDM stablecoin, 10 Mafia apps fully deployed, or 3 apps hitting 50K daily fees for 30 days. And then finally, Korean regulators launched an investigation into BitThumb after their Bitcoin airdrop mistake. Individuals were airdropped 2,000 Bitcoin each instead of a different token, and many were able to sell on the exchange. That is all for the weather report. It is back to you folks in the studio.
Thank you, Signal. A few things there. We had this Korean so I do want to jump into this real quick. BitThumb, they airdropped supposedly 2,000 people were airdropped 2,000 Bitcoin each, like $50 trillion Bitcoin, or trillion won Bitcoin air. They airdropped allegedly 3% of the Bitcoin supply to people last night or over the weekend. How does this easy? Did you see this?
Yeah. Oopsie.
So this is just like fake Bitcoin. Like,
I mean, how do we know it's backed? You know what I mean? Like, it's just an exchange. Like, just because an exchange sends you Bitcoin doesn't mean they're going to give you the dollars from it. Like,
not your keys, not your cheese.
Yeah, exactly. I've been saying the same thing to Michael Saylor since the start. You know.
Dude, all right. Well, if we're gonna talk about Michael Saylor, I actually laughed out loud when I saw that he announced his acquisition this week. Get any guesses? Did you guys see the purchase price, average purchase price for
I
Michael
have not.
Saylor's purchases?
No, what was it this week?
All right, Signal, take a guess on Michael Saylor's average purchase price on Bitcoin this week.
Oh gosh. Oh, I'm trying to think. Can I have a quick look at what he's done before? Hang on.
Oh, he buys more than he buys. Like he has a high average purchase price every time. Basically, is the joke.
Okay, so like I don't know, like why for some reason I cannot think.
I'm curious for the audience. No Future Photography saying 75K average.
Oh no.
No Future saying 60K. David Fowler 76K. The answer is 78K per Bitcoin. He's down.
The average. Oh, you mean his average price?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm. Yeah. So okay, the average price 78. Ooh.
Bitcoin wasn't even at 78K at all this week. I don't know how that's possible.
That's the cumulative average. That is they're down 10,000 per Bitcoin. How about that?
No, he acquired 1,100 Bitcoin at an average price of 78K per Bitcoin. Their average is 76.
Oh,
yeah.
Is this from the week prior?
No, dude, this was just announced. I don't understand.
Well, yeah, but I think that means that that's when they bought it. Like,
I think it's a week
delayed,
an extra week delayed.
Yeah,
like these weren't from last week, but
it had to have been the week before. Bitcoin didn't trade at 78K. So unless whoever this guy's dealer is, whoever's slinging this guy coin, because they're making money on top of it. Like, unless Michael Saylor has a magnet to the Pico top price of Bitcoin every week, week after week, day after day, hour after hour, which, hey, listen, kudos to him, because that just means that the Strike, Stripe, Sting, Stimp, Simp, and Song ICOs will all be able to pay dividends every hour, which is the perfect cash flow debt vehicle for purchasing more Bitcoin.
It's the best. It's the best.
That is so high. That is so high. Sorry, I just had to check the dates there because they were in US. How did he get 78K when all of last week we were in our 60s?
Hey,
I don't get that.
Never ask a magician to reveal their secrets.
I guess.
Yeah, this one I won't be asking. I can guarantee you.
My guess is it's the week before. So I think on the very first day, on February 1st, it was Wirehead X is saying it was at 78K. Let's look at the daily on Bitcoin. My get, it has to be a week delayed. Like I think this has to be from the week prior, and he's just engagement baiting us. But it was okay. On February 1st, it was at 79K. So he had to have bought that first day.
What was it on the second?
On the second, it was also it was like in the 78.6 range.
Okay, so he must have bought, because the first was a Sunday, so he came in the early part of the week where we were still in the high 70s, and then later on in the week we obviously went down a lot further. So just bad timing, bad luck on that. But look, the man's still buying, and I'm glad we've still got buyers at this range. It's like, I don't know about you guys, but I just cannot make heads of tail of this market since the start of this year. It has been so difficult to be able to try and forecast which direction risk on assets are going, especially as we continue to see the stock market just not free fall, but to see, some pretty strong sell-offs, especially on Friday.
It's been an absolute, like the last week was actually devastating. The last 2 weeks have just been like, what is going on? No relief. It's just like you wake up down, more down, and it's just no signs of relief other than what we saw after we hit 60K. Easy. Do you think 60K is the bottom?
No.
You think we're going lower?
$14,000.
Right, come on.
He said 60 last week. I remember you said 62 last week.
62, 64.
You said 62, yeah. I remember.
Yeah, right around there. Some people are calling for another giant flush. Sell off from hell. But I'm like, yeah, okay, so I'm 48, I guess. Personally, I'm indifferent. I don't care. Like, whatever. I think we're close, if not there.
I'm just going through some of the Twitter timeline. Yeah, I think most people are calling for lower. Makes me feel like we're not. But we got, let me see, Greeny saying Bitcoin goes lower. There you go. Bitcoin, he's targeting 40K. He's shorting Bitcoin right now. This guy, Crypto Boss, is saying we got a crypto bump and run reversal, the bar. Like, where does he come up with these? I mean, this.
Oh, no. Yeah, no, that makes perfect. Classic. Bump and run reversal. Yep. Classic. Right into a Sigma Fibonacci retracement. Right into the Delta, Mogmoid, Foid, triple ascend. Yeah, that makes sense.
God, you know what? I always keep thinking about what my friend told me. I mentioned this at a show like a few weeks back. She's Chinese and she's really into numbers. She studies numbers. That's her thing. She'll come to your house. You'll be like, I live at this address. She'll come in, give you like a bottle of wine, and she'll be like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm not going to do the Chinese accent, but she'll be like, I'm so sorry you live at this house. And you're like, I've seen her do this to a friend. And she's like, I'm so sorry you live at this house. First thing she said when she arrived at the door, and the woman was like, why? And she was like, because of the number. And then she just started talking about all this energy and how certain numbers, and then she started asking her birthday, and you could just see this woman's like face of just like, what? She told me last year in November, sell. 2026 is going to be a bad year. And I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, nodding my head. She's been spot on. I actually have to give her a call right now because her number reading has been spot on. She told me this was going to be a horrible year for Bitcoin. Didn't listen to her. Didn't listen to her at all.
Because isn't it the year of the horse? No,
is it dragon? No, sorry, it's not dragon. It's horse. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's either horse or rat. One of those two. I can never remember which one.
It's the year of the horse. And as an owner of a horse, it's pissy, man. Let me tell you. They'll fuck you up just because they're bored. So it's one of those situations that we're in. But listen, man, when they're nice and they like you, it's smooth sailing. So I think that's semantics here. as the kids say. If it was what was the other one? The year of the snake? Was that last year? Year of the rabbit?
I think it was a dragon last year. I think I can't remember. I can never remember the animals.
Higher for longer.
Higher for longer. Exactly.
Higher for longer.
Are you bidding at these levels?
I was bidding.
Anything? Are you bidding anything?
Yeah. Open door and Robinhood.
Signal. I was buying a 95K. So there's your
Signal. The kid sold his car and bought Bitcoin at $128,000. Like, what do you want here, dude? Like, the kid literally sold his car and bought $8,000 of a $120,000 asset. If he did that today, he would have gotten like 16% of a coin. He didn't even get 4% of one. Like, it's okay. It happens. And now he's got to walk everywhere. But hey, the Seahawks won.
It didn't even feel that good with the Seahawks winning. Honestly, when they won 10 years ago, it literally felt like the greatest thing ever. And
was that with the Legion of Boom?
That was with the Legion of Boom, dude. But and when they lost the next year, I was so devastated. This year, I was still excited.
When they didn't hand the ball off to Marshawn Lynch and settled for a pass in which Malcolm Butler sniped it in the end zone that year.
Exactly. Yeah, so that was a redemption. But yeah, Signal, I've been buying Bitcoin since I dabbled. I think I bought a little bit more at 63K, but I just don't have as much money as I did. I was buying tens of thousands of dollars worth at 95. So I'm not feeling good.
No, man. Look. The fact that we're even here, honestly, when we're like, people have very short-term memories. When we're in the 90s, to get down to 60, like that 90 to 110, nobody would have thought that would have happened, because for that to have happened, the world would have had near to end. Which, for all intents and purposes, it kind of looks like we're approaching something of that magnitude. But like, we have strongly pulled back, and the conditions to do that, I don't think anyone can forecast what that is going to be. And yes, it feels horrible, but I also feel like you can't predict what the conditions will be to go back up to those numbers. I don't know when that is going to happen, but the days of we're never going to see 60K, 50K, 40K, 90K, like whatever that number is, 2026 has just thrown that out of the window and just been like, yeah, nah, that it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Everybody's back to the 4-year cycle theory.
Yeah, well, everybody is back on it. I tweeted about this back like in October, back when Citadel said they were getting like into crypto, and I was like, we're fucked. And then did I sell during that time? No, but that quite literally marked the top on Bitcoin. Citadel doesn't play. Citadel will absolutely wreck you any chance they get. Yeah, am I happy about buying at 95K? Absolutely not. I'm down 30%. But in the long run, is it going to be fine? Yeah. If it's going to 200, 250, why does it matter if you bought? I mean, it does matter if you bought it like 90 versus 60, but that's why it's good just a DCA. I've been buying MicroStrategy as well. My stance on MicroStrategy has just been, I mean, if this thing goes down, easy, you're muted. You're muted. Easy, you're muted.
Why the fuck are you buying that, dude? Buying MicroStrategy. It's down 90%.
I spent so much fucking time with Pio, dude.
I know. It's literally corrupted your brain.
He has.
I handed you Robinhood on a silver platter.
I have Robinhood.
$30.
And I bought.
MicroStrategy was $480. So you went and bought MicroStrategy because you are a culmination of the one person you spend the most time with, which is your boyfriend.
I spent too much time with him. I agree.
I know. And every day you just hear the podcast in the background. It's crazy because he has a speaker in his bathroom that just plays Michael Saylor quotes. It's over all day, 24/7. It just plays Michael Saylor quotes.
Oh my God, easy. When you said that, I just keep thinking about that quote. You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Oh, no, I'm just like wanting to go underneath my desk right now.
Clemente is the average of the one person he spends the most time with.
I just spent time with him.
And it's one of those situations where like people probably bought MicroStrategy at like $60 to $70 average. Clemente, because of this as a byproduct, has bought MicroStrategy at a $700 average. Because he got him.
I have an average account. My average
that's
cost
good.
$223.
That's really that's great. That's great.
Keeping track, MicroStrategy at $127.
So you're down 50%.
Guess how much I'm down? $1. Dollars.
$8,246. $10,972. Oh, you're down more than the car. Wow. All right.
It's okay, Clemente. You're a baby. You're so young. You're so time will heal. No, dude, come on.
When we meet people,
he's mid-20s or whatever it is.
But when we meet people that think he's 40, it's like they rank us by age and they're like Nick, Clemente, Pio, me. Is like the tier list. It's pretty wild.
Actually ridiculous.
And I feel bad for the kid because I'm like, oof. You got a lot of age in those eyes, man. Like you've been through. It's the screaming. It's the vein. Like the more that the vein pops out, the wrinkles start protruding. You gotta be zen. You gotta be zen. Like a couple cortisol crash outs are okay, but like every day, man, like it's starting to wear on you.
I think I did think I thought I got a hernia this weekend when I was doing a video. And I think that's partially from the vein stuff. But it gets views, so I gotta do it the rest of my life.
People send it to me on Instagram and say they saw me on your For You page, so it's all worth it. It's all worth it. Maybe I have an aneurysm. Maybe I dropped dead on one of the videos. But could you imagine if I died, how many more views I'd get? At the end of the day, MicroStrategy would still be down.
MicroStrategy, it has been 100% my worst investment of all time. But
I don't get why are you buying MicroStrategy, Clemente?
I don't want to talk about it right now, actually. Let's talk about it when it's back up to 200, hopefully, and I'm break even.
I'm real curious. I'm like with Bitcoin, like, and it's like a high 60s, low 70s. I'm just curious.
Well, I do think they are building something that's very unique and interesting. I'm very bullish on Bitcoin, and I'm very bullish on a company owning an insane amount of Bitcoin. That's pretty much it. It's like you get to do a lot of stuff if you just own 3% of the Bitcoin supply or whatever percent, 2%. If you get to 1 million Bitcoin, I think you're in a great spot. So we'll see. I mean, at the same time, I'm also like, look, if I ride this to zero, like if this literally implodes, everything else with Bitcoin will implode. So what? All right, my portfolio goes to zero. We shake it off.
It's just money. The dollar's worthless anyway.
He's got time. He's in his 20s. He's got time. I feel like what you just told me was if I was a fly on the wall and I was just jumping from wall to wall, that was a Cliff Notes PO meeting. Like I didn't have time to go to the meeting, and that was the Cliff Notes Clemente PO meeting.
PO's out of control. You're out of control.
You're out of control. Dude, just buy Bitcoin and just sit on it. You don't need the leveraged version of it. You just don't.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome
to the source.
MicroStrategy Intervention Show. This is where we go over all of my worst investments and we talk about it. No, we're going to shift gears a little bit here. Let's talk very quickly about MegaETH, because I saw them on the timeline over the weekend talking about how they are not going to TGE until they hit specific KPIs. People were very mad about it. The token will automatically launch 30 days after any of the metrics are hit, which include $500 million TVL for their USDM stablecoin, 10 Mafia apps fully deployed, or 3 apps hitting 50K daily fees for 30 days. MegaETH, reason why I want to bring that up is the pre-market for MegaETH is now trading at a $1.3 billion FDV. If you remember, they raised, I forget how many millions of dollars at a $1 billion FDV. And people were excited. They're like, basically, that's a free 4X. ICO Beast infamously wanted to hedge his position because he was like, okay, I turned 50K into 250K. I want to hedge this. They took his position away. And now it's looking like he got lucky, because if you bought into that, if you are a U.S. resident that bought into that pre-sale, you need to hold that. The tokens are locked for a year. Correct me if I'm wrong. So, Signal Easy, any thoughts on MegaETH? I have some takes from my own, but I'm curious what you guys think on the overall ecosystem, how they're navigating it. Is it a potential buy here at 13 cents?
Well, I'm in a 1-year marriage contract with MegaETH. I can't get divorced from them.
You participated?
Yeah, I can't. I did. And our divorce is in what, 10 months, I think, around about that. So still got a good way to go. I am not mad at this. Okay. I'm looking at the track record of the team and what they've done and the mistakes that they've learned from last year when they made some strong errors, but they came back from it. And I think having KPIs in place, people don't like it because it means they can't just YOLO out and take their money and run. And I think putting KPIs in place actually shows that if they're able to hit the targets that they want to hit, it means that there's real activity happening on the chain. I actually see it as a positive thing, but it's also a patience thing as well. And people in this space are not patient. So if you're touching their pocket and it's somehow taking away money, delaying money, they go wild. They go wild for it. But I'm here for it. I like it. I like the KPIs.
Signal, how could you invest? Well, I mean, what was going through your head? How could you buy MegaETH, the MegaETH token, locking it for a year? Are you crazy?
No, I just didn't think what I've been smoking, whatever you've been smoking, Clemente. Like, no, but the thing is, remember, it was either get the money on day one, but you'd have less allocation, and there was there was a higher opportunity that you wouldn't get any allocation. And again, I like the team. I was happy to wait 1 year. And that's why I locked it for a year. And that's how I got allocation, because I locked it for a year and most people did not. Yeah. So, I mean, we'll see. 10 months is a long, long ass time in crypto in the real world. I think we could see the all-time low for Bitcoin this year. And then there's a probability we could see a new all-time high. That is where we are in 2026. Or like everything stripped on the table. All possibilities are open here. So I am open to a team that is strong, has been building. I really like Bread. I think he's a really good ambassador. I always listen to what he has to say about what's happening behind the scenes. And I'm happy to lock in for 10 more months.
I would agree with that. MegaETH. I am bullish on it. I think if there's an ecosystem that's well run, it would be that, compared to a lot of chains, not going to name names, that literally have nothing going on after raising a lot of
exactly money. Goddamn ghost town, some of these chains. What's that stuff you get in cowboy films, the stuff that rolls when it's tumbleweed? Thanks. Goddamn tumbleweed out there on most chains. Just teams disappear, Kaiser Soze into the night. And here, these guys are like, okay, hey, we're going to stick around. We're going to put some KPIs in place, and we're going to make sure that we've got a real chain with real people using it. If they can't hit some of those KPIs, then I think we've got a bigger problem. They're actually kind of like making us look up their skirt and being like, are you really a girl? You know, that's what's going on here. So right, I hope they hit those KPIs.
Looking up your skirt's crazy. Ray saying good morning from the X-ray machine. Ray, we hope everything is going well. For people that don't know, someone asked, what the fuck is MegaETH? Sounds like a goddamn scam. They're basically building an L2 on ETH that I think the way they run the nodes or whatever, what do you call the things that confirm the transaction? Whatever it is. It's like more centralized. So they only have like one or like a few, and they're super fast. So you get like real-time transactions. That's it in a nutshell. And I do like what they're doing. I think they're doing a great job. Okay, well, we'll shift gears here a little bit. Update on the crypto price action as the market opened 12 minutes ago. The U.S. market, we got Bitcoin at 69.4K, basically at last cycle's all-time high. Ethereum at 2040. Solana looking rough, if I say so myself. $85. Easy, you still holding your Solana?
Yes.
Okay. That's tough. Shake it off, buddy.
I feel like you with MicroStrategy. I'm up 4x, but not like the same as being up 12x.
Fuck, dude. I remember sitting there after Libra launched. Yeah. And we were all talking about selling our Solana. I stayed up that night because I lost like fucking $8,000 on that. I lost $8,000 on Libra, and I was sitting there. I couldn't go to sleep, and I was on my computer, and I was like, I'm selling my Solana, and I sold like a good amount of it, like 25%.
You went crazy that night. You went viral on Latin America Twitter. You made it on the news.
And I realized like how ridiculous it is to actually lose that much money on a meme coin. And I was like, this doesn't feel good. Solana is this. And I was like mad because I sold it at like 190 when it was at 290 was the all-time high. And I was tax loss harvesting, and I sold all my Solana. I bought a lot of it back, but I was like, dude, I'm selling this at 130. Like, damn, this thing's down 50% from all-time highs. And fast forward today, it's at 86. I mean, dude, this is tough. This is tough. But at the same time, like, it's hard to make a call on price action when everything's going down other than hyperliquid. Like when you got Bitcoin going from 95K to 60K in literally less than a month, it's hard to say, like, it's hard to have a good eye on what is good versus not. I made a lot of stupid decisions, a lot of stupid investment decisions when Bitcoin pumped. Bitcoin had that ride to like from 83 to like 98. I was a dumbass and bought a bunch of random stuff, including XRP, which I'm down almost 50% on. But you live and you learn. Well, look, that's gonna do it for today's show. I think we're gonna wrap a little bit early. Hope you guys all stay healthy. Enjoy. Have a good Super Bowl hangover day. Have a productive day, and we'll be back tomorrow. I don't know if Ray will be back. I don't know how much I'll host this week. I enjoyed having Signal and Easy on today and chatting to them making me feel bad about my investment decisions. I enjoyed making fun of Easy and Signal's investment decisions in return. And we'll be back tomorrow, same time, 9 a.m. Eastern. Catch you guys later. Thank you all for tuning in.